Camp is camp. It's tough, but it's for me to want to push myself. This is what I do. This is what I live for. I'm ready for battle. I feel like I'm getting stronger, and I feel by the time the fight comes, I'll be at peak performance.
One more. Beautiful. Good. That's what we got to bring him on to. Nobody can take that.
Unbelievable how far and how wide sports can take you and the things that you get access to.
Anthony Joshua has officially begun his first day of training camp, ahead of his showdown with Jake Paul, now targeted for December 19th. With the fight confirmed, Joshua isn't wasting a single moment. He has entered camp laser-focused, sharp, and confident just like the former heavyweight champion he is. Jake Paul may have risen from YouTube fame to boxing stardom, but this time he's stepping into the ring with a fully seasoned powerhouse who carries real-world class experience.
Training camp. I'm feeling energized, I'm feeling refreshed. So yeah, come inside, have a look what's going on. Tough training, tough lifestyle, rough and tough. But listen, how else would I want it? I love it. So what am I bringing differently? I won't say a new mindset, but definitely like a new perspective. But ultimately, everything new has to lead to a win. So yeah, that's what I'm focused on right now, just winning. With training camp, it's grueling, like there's no doubt about that. But you just need to have a clear mind and be optimistic and run towards challenges every day. And that's how I'm able to get through, is just the perspective I have on what suffering looks like. There's a certain standard that one has to have if they want to achieve certain things. I am working past efforts, measures that I set out for myself. Yes, it's tough. Yes, I'm tired.
To Asterisk reporter Mike Coppinger revealed that Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is a done deal for December 2025, set to take place in Miami and streamed globally on Netflix as a professional heavyweight bout.
Earlier that Anthony Joshua still didn't have an opponent for his next fight, but he was thinking of still fighting before the end of the year. And we've got some breaking news for you now, because we're hearing that AJ is in talks with Jake Paul over a deal for a heavyweight fight in Miami next month. Of course, the YouTuber Paul has already fought the former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, and beaten him. And he's now in talks with Anthony Joshua with a view to the two of them fighting in Miami next.
Hearn responded by confirming the fight, but with important clarifications. He stated that the bout will be contested under Queensberry professional rules, not an exhibition. No oversized gloves, no shortened rounds, no modified safety guidelines. It will be 10-ounce gloves, official rounds, and a full professional rule set.
Anthony Joshua, your man, and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a December heavyweight fight in Florida. True or false?
I mean, the gun was jumped a little bit and fired early. There have been conversations. For us, we were flirting with the idea of having this little 8-round fight this year. Not with Jake Paul, by the way, because he was fighting Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, that's no.
But we were going to go on a other card somewhere. You wouldn't have really heard of the person we were going to fight. But AJ wanted to go through the motions, wrap the hands, and just gear up to what is really in the works with Turki Al-Sheikh, which is 2 fights in 2026, and that includes Tyson Fury. That's the plan for Turki Al-Sheikh. We received a phone call from Nikisa Baldirian, from MVP, who, by the way, we've spoke to a few months before talking to us about the fight. And he said, look, would you want to fight Jake Paul? And I said, listen, I don't want to just be a publicity muppet for you, you know, telling everybody that you offered the fight to Anthony Joshua. If you're serious, we can discuss the numbers. And if there's a chance for us to run out in December and, you know, take care of this bloke and get him out of the boxing world and make several tens of millions in the process, of course, we will consider it. And that's basically where we are at now.
And do the numbers stack up?
Of course, I mean, like, you know, it's difficult to have this conversation. I think...
Asterisk speaking to Sky Sports. Hearn made it clear, we're not interested in exhibitions. If Jake Paul wants the fight, then it's a real fight at a contracted weight. But despite confirming the talks, Hearn warned fans that the deal is still not finalized, saying the chances are 50-50 due to ongoing negotiations.
Extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please, AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that's the only reason we're going to see this fight.
Asterisk interview. 5 asterisk Hearn also admitted that Jake Paul is crazy enough to actually go through with the fight even though Joshua is a fully developed heavyweight monster. He acknowledged that both fighters stand to make an enormous payday. However, Hearn did not shy away from the truth. This matchup is a dangerous mismatch that could end Jake Paul's career physically or professionally if things go badly.
Sure, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh, well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world,
I asterisk and Turbo 6 asterisk at the same time. Hearn recognized Jake Paul's long-term strategy. Paul targets professional boxers who can generate massive money, and Joshua is the biggest financial opportunity he can possibly chase.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AJ Everson quickly. I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions. He's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like to see it.
Simon Jordan has acknowledged that despite his criticism,
*7* Simon Jordan, despite being one of the loudest critics of influencer boxing, admits the Joshua versus Paul fight could be good for the sport in some ways. He explained that the matchup will attract global attention, bring millions of new viewers, and inject massive commercial value into boxing. Jordan believes that blending a former heavyweight champion with one of the world's biggest digital entertainers will create a mainstream spectacle that keeps boxing culturally relevant even if the competition level is.
This is the entertainment business, and Anthony Joshua is an entertainer, and you can't undo the fact that he won the World Heavyweight Championship twice. And he fought in some great fights.
So why does he need this?
Because he's in the business of entertainment. And if an opportunity is presented to him and someone wants to say that we can monetize this to the huge levels that are potentially available, why wouldn't you? It's a walk in the park.
You see, you're not having Saturday night.
Because I know
many people wouldn't have this.
Well, I'm not having...
Because this isn't a proper fight where a Saturday night is.
But I don't think this is a proper... I don't think that I would ever consider having a debate about whether Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is a proper fight between two bona fide champions. I think Jake Paul is someone that's creating a lot of opportunity for himself and using sport as the anchor for it. And will I watch it? No. And do I value it? No. But when I'm asked to be confronted with a fight between two legends' sons and then get involved in all of the nonsense...
Questionable .int RVIW8 ***. However, Jordan also compared this fight to the Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. matchup, which he criticized heavily. He argued that fight relied more on nostalgia riding on their father's legendary rivalry than actual merit. But when it comes to Joshua versus Paul, Jordan didn't hold back. He called it a blatant cash grab and questioned whether the fight should even be sanctioned, citing the physical danger Paul could face and the potential damage it could do to Joshua's reputation.